My name is Renée Asteria. I go by Razteria, and this is for Music of the Future's TV series behind the album. And my album coming out is called Space to Play, and it comes out October 28th.
Make some space to play. Take your time today.
Space to Play is about making time and space to be creative every day, and in something that makes you feel unique. You know, it's going to be something that takes some effort. I really think that as humans, this is kind of something very basic to our sense of being human, is our ability to create. And I think nowadays we've sort of lost that, and we let a lot of other things entertain us. And, you know, realizing that each of us has something unique to share and express is really important. And so for me, it's songwriting, and this album sort of symbolizes that. So the title track is called Space to Play, and the album has 16 tracks on it, and all of the tracks delve into so many different styles, and it sort of represents different messages I have to myself, or that I've been able to channel through this process of making space for myself to create. The recording process is always an iterative process, and it always takes a really long time. This album, I started tracking in 2017, some of the songs, and I usually just track it. I'm by myself. I track scratch vocals and a scratch instrument, and then I start layering and with different instruments, and then I bring in studio musicians and work with them. And then also some of the tracks I've started working with Dave Schul, who's like a co-producer. With him, we kind of just bounce ideas off of each other. And it's a similar process. You know, I come with an idea and we'll build it together, and iterative. We have scratch and then we replace it. The mixing process I also take on myself. So I'll be mixing the song and then still recording things and mixing it again and recording things, subtracting things. It's kind of a never-ending process until you just decide, okay, I'm finished.
Just stop. Stop destroying me.
The writing process, again, kind of depends on the track itself, but a lot of times I'll keep a journal. And when I decide, okay, I'm going to write a song, I'll just open to a page and start to improvise it. And I'll literally record my improvised spoken word in a sense. And usually in that process of improvising melody with usually a guitar or maybe just even a cappella, some little hook, something that is memorable will come up. And so then I'll just start to hone that even further and listen back to that, and then, you know, come up with some sort of song structure, becoming obsessive about it, going hiking, thinking of the melody in my head, singing it while I'm hiking, and recording on my phone and dreaming about it and waking up and thinking about it and going to sleep with it, and just until it's finished, quote unquote.
What I love.
I worked with a lot of different musicians on this album. The primary, I would say, co-producer on a lot of the songs is a drummer named Jamie Arredondo, with whom I started most of the tracks in 2017. Most of the, maybe half of the tracks. And we layered drums. He's a drummer. And we also worked on, you know, some melodies together, some lyrics together. And so he was kind of key to a lot of these songs. And then, years later, I'm like picking them up again, and with kind of my new skill set, which is in production that I've honed over, the past few years, I've started to basically revisit these older tracks and finish them actually during the pandemic, and then also includes new tracks. And these new tracks, I've collaborated with Dave Schul, Manis, Itene, and Raleigh Neal. And who else? Oh, of course, I can't forget Zeze Fasmore. He's a blind poet from Peru who I met in Argentina, also in 2017. And he's been sending me lyric, and I've been able to kind of bring his lyric to song and work together with him.
Una sola comunión, combustión, redención y satisfacción. Seamos uno solo. Sé mis ojos, yo seré tus oídos.
After the recording process, you have mixing, and that's actually a really key part, and that I do most of that myself, but I also collaborated this time. Actually, the title track is mixed by Robin Applewood, also really awesome artist, producer, engineer based in the Bay Area, and Corazón Cegado is mixed by Eddie Caipo, who's engineer for Gwen Stefani and Enrique Iglesias. And so I got to work with a few really, really great engineers. And of course, not to forget that all these tracks were mastered by Justin Weiss of Trackworks from South San Francisco. So really a lot of awesome professionals from right here in the Bay Area.
Sometimes we are so irrational. Sometimes we are so irresponsible.
Another thing that I think always gets overlooked is like the other team members that are involved in the process. Like, for example, those involved in creating music videos, and Alex Zajcek, who's actually producing this video right now. And also he's done a lot of videography for a lot of the videos that are from Space to Play. Also want to give a shout out to another Alex Kilgore, who helps with all of the promotion and the social media marketing and everything. All this team has been really key, and there are a lot of other people too. And I'm really thankful. So yeah, I hope you love the album, and you'll find it on every platform as of October 28th. And feel free to reach out to me on all social media platforms. I'll respond directly for sure. And if you want to collaborate, I'm definitely up for collaborating. So yeah, thank you.
Play.